All right. Hello, everyone. Can everyone see my screen okay? Yep, looks good. All right. So we do have an icebreaker question just to start off today. What is one fun activity or attraction that you're excited to promote at your FEC this year? I would love to know. I think the new year, so much hope and opportunity. Such a positive time of year. You all could pop your answers in the chat if you'd like. I can read off some answers. Donuts with dad. Oh, that is so sweet. We love donuts, and dads are just so nice. I think anything that gets dads really involved and has them with the little ones, it's always so fun. And dads are always so playful. It's the best. Mm. Valentine's Day. Oh, I like that. Yes, 'cause then you get two celebrations. You have one with your partner, and then you have the other with all of your friends. You really can't beat that. Valentine's Day is the best. And they put the Valentine stuff, or I guess Valentine stuff out earlier and earlier every year. So literally in December, you could buy Valentine's Day stuff. And who doesn't love pink and red and hearts? And all the love. Friends deserve love too. Awesome, awesome. All right. I think we have a great amount of participants here already. So hello, everyone. Just want to say hello again and welcome to our webinar. This webinar is Master Your 2025 Marketing Strategy. Oh, this is a winning plan for FECs featuring Erik, our CEO here from Funworks Media. Uh,
Hey, how's it going?
Yep. And before we jump in, I'd like to say thank you everyone for joining, taking the time out of your day just to hear what we have to say and be a part of this webinar. So we hope it gives you so much information. We have a crazy good schedule today, and we really just want to say thank you because we appreciate your time. And if this is your first time joining a Party Center software webinar, we like to say welcome. Whether you've joined us live or viewed our on-demand webinars, we do these monthly, and we are Party Center software powered by our payment processing system, Party Center Pay. So we really strive to take the frustrations out of booking processes. So all of the manual just struggles that sometimes FECs can face, we like to turn those into phenomenal guest experiences. So we offer our guests digital waivers, marketing services, from blogging and SEO to websites to all the great things we'll talk about today, point of sale systems, online stores, and just so much more. So, I like to take a brief moment to introduce my team here at Party Center Software. We have Courtney, she's our director of sales. We have Eileen, she's our customer success consultant. And then there's me, Nadia. I am the client relationship and marketing coordinator here at Party Center Software. We do have some of our other team members on the call as well. They'll be monitoring the chat. So if you have anything to say, questions, comment, concerns, pop them in there. Our team can see it and they can address those for you. Now, our amazing, super smart guest here is Erik from Funworks Media. He is the CEO, and we're so excited to have him on and just share all of his great marketing wealth with us today. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'll introduce myself really quick. So just really briefly, I got into the family entertainment industry in 2018. Started with Creative Works and was there for a few years, and I loved it so much. Started my own business, and here I am.
Yep. Awesome. We appreciate you being here today, Erik. So, our agenda today is jam-packed. We wanted to give you all everything you need to know about marketing, and we appreciate you all coming on. So, we're really trying to put you in a great spot to learn everything you need to know. So, we'll start out with the foundations of content marketing. Then we'll talk about, wait, why marketing anyway? Why is that important for FECs? Then we'll go into what content marketing is. We'll go into branding, digital advertising, social media, SEO and blogging. We have to talk about websites. And then we'll go over a few tools and services to support you in your marketing endeavors, because don't fret. We're not going to leave you with all this information and just say, here you go. So, yep, we have so much to help you. And the overarching question we really want to tackle today is, what does marketing in FECs look like and how do we master it? So, if you were wondering that, you're in the right place. So, Erik, if you'd like to take it away.
All right, so I guess I'll start here. Yeah, why is marketing powerful for FECs? I mean, it's something that is helpful for any business in any industry, but especially for FECs, we can promote our business in a fun way and make it, um, easy for people that are following you to have fun and come to your business. So, um, I think everyone can agree that the biggest thing for most FEC operators is driving traffic to your store. But second to that also is making sure they have a good experience and come back. Yeah, we can go next. Okay. Um, so, you know, going off the first thing, it's talking about brand visibility and loyalty. Creating a strong brand identity is something that is important to everybody, because it will make sure that people remember you for a positive experience. Um, and I think the next slide actually is something I wanted to get more into. If you could go to the next one.
Yep.
So building brands creates unforgettable trust, and keyword is unforgettable. So, what does that, how do you do that, right? Um, and the key is consistency. So if you have a logo and colors that you use consistently, like Party Center software uses blue, and they have a logo that they use across the board for everything, making sure that you're consistent with that is going to resonate with people in their minds. Like as simple as someone driving on the highway and they see Best Buy and they didn't even read the logo or whatever it is. They know what it is. So the key is consistent use of your logo, whether that's on a different colored background, making sure that it looks good, and using consistent colors and shapes and fonts. So like design assets is basically what I would sum it up as. And if you're consistent, if you're not consistent, it will not resonate the same. So you need to create something that people remember, just by briefly glancing at it. Um, where FECs typically fail with this is I'll see a logo that maybe has too many colors, or maybe has too many shapes or words, or just like a tag, like a million taglines in it. Just information overload is generally what I see as the biggest problem with branding, and that's not just logos. That's graphics, like posting on social media. Maybe everyone wants to promote that they have 20 different attractions, and how do you make it simple for people? That's the main thing, is making it simple and making it memorable. Um, so that's just a little example of how we can improve that.
Yeah, and you'll see at the bottom, this is kind of, we wanted to use this example of how PCS does this every day, whether we use a white ground, black background, or even our blue logo. Sometimes we'll mix it up and make it fun. And then now we have our Party Center marketing logo, which matches our software logo, but as you can see, it's very consistent. So it's a great example of just, we wanted to show y'all how branding can come to play.
I have one more example really quick because it's just something on my mind. So I'm designing flyers for a roller skating rink, and one way you can do this with your own flyers or ads or social media graphics is, um, making sure that you have consistent deliverables on all those things. So that you should always have a logo and contact information on your flyers. Not always for ads, but if it's print, then yes. And keeping that kind of standardized, and it makes it simpler for you in the future. If you're going to design another flyer, you have, you know, you have maybe a bar at the bottom. It has the contact information, it has the logo, it has the um, any other relevant information, and it just keeps it simple. And like I said, people will once they look at your flyer, they know it's yours.
Yep. After branding, doing content marketing.
Yeah, content marketing is a big thing for me because that's what I've been doing pretty much my whole career. Even before I started at Creative Works, I was working at sports and entertainment companies. And as we all have heard this phrase, content is king. Um, and it's true. So what does that even mean though? Content marketing is it's all the media that you consume, like whether it's like Netflix or whether it's going on someone's website and you see a video or literally a blog. It's just content. It's information that's going to be helpful. It's information that could be entertaining or it could be engaging. And there's an 80-20 rule that we talk about for a lot of different things. And for content marketing, typically when it comes to social media, um, you want to focus more on the things that are performing the best, whether that's a video or a graphic. Sorry, I kind of like blanked out, but you want to try to communicate with people in a way that doesn't come off as salesy all the time. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, and I think one way that we try to do that at Party Center Software, I gave some examples down here of like this is our blog, and then we have some flyers, some graphics on the side of how we just promote different trade shows or even make it personable by promoting team birthdays or anniversaries. And we have this video, something that we did for the IAPA trade show, some of you are familiar with. It's just another great example of something fun, but it gets the point across. We're advertising our products and services and what we do, but it's just in a really fun way.
So yeah, obviously content marketing is a big focus for today. And I'll just go over the bullet points and then give examples. But you're going to build trust and authority with your audience if you're consistently showing up and communicating with them, whether it's on social media, whether it's on your website, if you're blogging, or if you're emailing people consistently. Just having a voice that's constantly communicating with them, and it doesn't like I said, it doesn't have to be salesy, but if it's educational, informative, and helping guide them to coming to your facility. Um, and then driving organic traffic and engagement to your platform. So that's a big thing that I focus on. I focus a lot less on the paid advertising aspect of things, but that is important too. We'll get to that later. Um, Organic content is something that you, like I said, you don't put money behind in terms of like, say, like Google ads or Facebook ads. It's stuff that's organic, and that's just hitting on the word organic. You want it to seem organic, like you're talking to somebody, you're not talking at somebody. So it's an open line of communication.
Awesome.
Um,
So,
yeah,
oh, I was going to say, so what are some of the best platforms and which perform the best?
yeah. So some of the best platforms for social media is right now it's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is good. It's great for reaching younger audiences, but that one is something we'll probably be talking about later too. It might be getting banned and changing some of those things up. And then going back to what I was talking about earlier, email marketing is very underrated. It's something that people kind of, I don't know, maybe they forgot how well it works, but it's generally people that opt in to wanting more information. So it's you're reaching directly to the people that want your business.
Right. And so when someone does put themselves on all of these apps and platforms and the email marketing, they might be wondering then, well, what type of content do I focus on?
Yeah, so the type of content that you want to focus on, like I said, is promoting your business in a fun way because this is the fun industry. And so like kind of like how I went over the bad examples, you might see a bad example and I'm going to turn it into a positive, right? So you might see a post on Instagram that's like one image and it has like 10 different sentences. Like one says, Easter discount or something, and it's like 25% off. And then it says like, oh, play laser tag, play the VR stuff, like just like too many messages. And I don't know about you, but I have 3 kids. I have way too much, information overload and I forget the word, but decision fatigue. Yeah. So if I'm scrolling through a feed and I see something that has 30 messages on it, I'm not stopping. I'm going. So how do we simplify that and make it easier and make people want to actually consume it? One thing you can do is like for Instagram, for example, you could take that post that has 10 different thoughts in it, and you could still say all those things and just break it into 10 different images as a multi-image post, which they call carousel. And carousels do perform really well on Instagram. It's right up there with Reels, the videos. Um, so you could have all those different pieces of messaging with, and like the first slide, maybe it's something to get them interested, like see what you get with our, Halloween deal or something, and then it's the next slide. And it shows that one attraction, and then you go to the next slide, it's the next attraction, and the
Right.
next one. So just simplifying things for people, especially people like me with kids, will get them more engaged. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. Oh boy, AI. This is a big one, and we could probably talk about this all day long. And I know people are going to be interested in this. So AI is a very hot topic. It's gotten really advanced, even in just not even a whole year. It's way more advanced than it was a year ago. Um, but I'm going to go over the positives of how I use AI and how other people I know are using AI. So this whole, this whole webinar is about creating your content plan for 2025 and executing on that. So one thing that you can do with AI, it helps you become more efficient, which I don't know about you, but like coming up with ideas, sometimes it's just hard. Sometimes it's just hard to come up with ideas for like, what do I post? What is a good promo I can make this month and this month and this month. Um, so one thing you can do is use ChatGPT and type in, create a content calendar for me using this link, and you could tell it to read the link that you send it, which could be like a social media holidays web page, and it'll spit out, within less than a minute, here's an idea for this month, like this day is National Pizza Day or something. And so, then you can tell it, hey, can you write me a caption for a social media post for that? So this is where it gets really useful. And so it's brainstorming and coming up with ideas, things that you already are going to do. And maybe you do it already. Maybe you come up with a caption on your own and you just tell it to make it better. And instead of spending like 30 minutes, how people will type an email to somebody and then they'll rewrite it to make it sound better. Or maybe they're angry or emotional and they're just like, I don't know if I can send this yet. This is like the new way to just help refine everything and make it better. Um, I sometimes I even use it for creating video scripts. It will come up with a script with times and like what is going on in this scene, this scene, this scene. It's not always perfect, which is one of the cons. So it might just misread something on your website or your message that you typed to it and come up with, maybe it misspells something or does something weird, like it just explains something in a way that doesn't make sense. That's where AI is not always perfect, but it's also comes down to communication. Um, like speaking a language. It literally is like speaking a language to somebody. So if you're not giving clear directions, it might not give clear results. Um, I'll try to hit this really quick, but so like I said, brainstorm ideas, writing copy, and then the negatives is sometimes if you have it do copy that is for a social media post or anything, a lot of times it sounds the same. Like it might not sound as original as if you were to say it. So it's a good starting point, and then I generally will tweak it to sound more like a human.
Yep, gotta humanize it in there.
Yeah.
All right, so now digital advertising.
Okay. So digital advertising. That's we're in 2025. I feel like the days of radio and newspaper don't kill me if you're in love with that stuff, but the days of newspaper ads and magazine ads and all those things are kind of, it's just not as helpful anymore. It still is useful because you will get a good deal on those things because they don't have as much leverage as they used to. But you're going to see a lot more results, literally like see the results in the stats behind what you're doing with ads or posts in the apps that you're using, including you can advertise. This is where I can get into the woods. You know, I can go on and on, but you can advertise a specific location. Like, let's just say you want to target somebody within 1 mile. You could target somebody specifically and like shoot them an ad that is, you know, whatever you want to do. It's the deal of the month or whatever it is. So yeah, pay-per-click campaigns. And I'm sure Nadia can come up with a lot more detail with pay-per-click campaigns, but when it comes to advertising, kind of like what we were talking about with content, you want to be specific. You don't want to be throwing 10 different ideas out at people. Like I said, that is what over time you're building communication and relationships with people through the organic posts that you're making and your blogs or whatever it is, or your emails. But when it comes to advertising, you're typically you want to give them one thought that they're going to act on in the moment because they're more ready if they're going to click on it. If they see an ad, they're likely in the buying process if you're doing it right. But um, so we could go on and on about this, but like the ad examples are great right here, like weekend specials, birthday packages. There's always a Black Friday deal that I see with my clients. Some of them do so well that they'll like crash their website.
Suffering some from success, we'll call it. So, as
So
far
yeah,
as the tips for targeting your audience more effectively, it seems like you'd say keep it local, keep it specific,
yeah,
and keep it simple.
exactly. That's what I would do.
Awesome. Budgeting for ads.
That's a good one. I I don't do as much advertising for people, but you can keep it as simple as spending like $50 or $100. On meta ads or like Google ads, you usually spend more on because you're going to lose out to the other people typically. It's a lot more competitive. But yeah, it's it. Like I would say, doing a little bit of advertising goes a long way. Whether that's promoting a specific deal, but it also helps SEO because it drives people to your website. Once they click through, they go to your website. You're getting a lot more traffic. Um, I don't know if that really answered this question, but most people say to budget 10% of your revenue, I think, um, towards advertising, but it's different on based on industry.
Yeah. And I know that our digital advertising specialist, he always meets with our clients first and he gets their goals down, what do they want to achieve, what do they need more help in, what are they trying to do. And after that, he'll go in daily or weekly and just constantly change money from this ad to this ad, or he'll switch things up constantly. So it is a constant process. And I think the most important part is how it says is based on your goals and what you really expect to come out of the ads. So if you're doing like a local ad, well, you want more foot traffic, or do you want your name just in general more out there? So when creating the ads, I know he works really hand in hand with them to make sure that whatever they want, whatever that goal is they initially established is achieved through their ads. But I do know that it is a constant process. Oftentimes, he doesn't just set them and let them run. He always monitors them. And I know that the monitoring part is a really big piece of his job. So I'd just like to offer that piece of information as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I know we only have an hour, but um, when it comes to the creative side of things, typically, you know, I work with some people that do the pay-per-click side of things, and I'll supply the creative to them for for an FEC. And they'll usually give you good feedback on like, hey, this one ad we did, maybe it's the same type of ad, but had a red color versus a blue color,
Mm.
and the red
A/B
one always
testing.
performs better. Yeah, A/B testing. And so the creative has to be kind of going back to the content stuff, simple and effective.
Yep. So, one of the big fish, social media.
It's a big one. Yeah, so why use social media? That's some people love social media, some people hate it. Um, and to me, I grew up with social media because I was there for Facebook when it first came out. So I've been on it forever. I was on MySpace a little bit too, but um, not as much. The biggest thing is, it's just maintaining those relationships with your customers or potential customers. So it's reaching them in a way that is more unique than it would have been in the past with like, we're still doing email, we're still doing our website and all those things, but you have more potential to reach new customers and excite people in a different way. So like it says on this list, fresh content, user generated content is a big one actually. Um, I would say you would want to include your user generated content in your strategy, even if it's just a small part of it. And what is user generated content? Um, Typically that is somebody that is a customer or loves to come to came to your place like one time and they made a video about it and posted it to their stories or as a reel. But a lot of times people will pay influencers, and I know that's another hot topic. Um, but when it comes to influencer marketing, over the years, people have been more focused on micro influencers. So people maybe they have
Mm.
like 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers, and instead of the people that have like a million followers,
Yep.
followers doesn't always matter, but the type of engagement that they get is a big part of it. So if you are seeking out a influencer to create UGC content, I call it UGC. You want to make sure that they have a lot of people interacting with their stuff, whether it's comments or likes or shares. And you can always ask them for a guideline, like I can't think of the name, but like a stat sheet of what do they typically get, because you're not going to see all those details if you just go on their page.
Oh,
Um,
yes, their insights.
Insights, yeah. And so the biggest thing with UGC is it comes off as a lot more organic than
Hmm.
the nice, expensive camera, shot commercials that we saw, for the last 20, 30 years. Um, and people want to see organic stuff. They want to see what other people are talking about. It's kind of like the word of mouth, but in digital
Yep.
form. So I would definitely consider putting that in your plan, at least 10% of your um, marketing plan for social media. And then we have a few other things on here, but what do you want people to see? What do you want people to see when they see your business? Not only are you going to be consistent with your logos, your colors, and things like that, but showing them how people are having fun, whether it's a birthday party, the venue highlights, like this is what another one on here. So like showing off the attractions, showing off somebody winning a huge prize at your like cut to win. We'll just name drop that game because it's selling like hotcakes. Um, but there's a reason for that too. It creates content on its own basically. People winning big prizes, they want to share that on social media. They want to tag the business. They want the business to share it. I mean, it's crazy. And then the last thing on here is target specific audiences. So if you're like a play center, like a soft play center, for example, like you're probably going to be creating content that focuses on kids having fun, or the parents and how. they are enjoying their kids having fun, and maybe it's solving a problem for them, you know? Like maybe they're getting together with their friends that they didn't used to be able to see for a while, but they can spend time with that friend, getting a coffee at this, you know, play center while their kids go jump on trampolines and play with, you know, toys and things like that.
Yep.
How are you solving that, you know, like, or birthday parties? One of the things that sorry, I know I could go on and on about this, but um, birthday parties, like I've created content where it's like, okay, what are the benefits of a birthday party at this place? Yeah, you get 6 pizzas or whatever it is. You get a party host, which is a big deal to me. Because if you couldn't tell, I'm introverted, but I am. I would rather have a party host do all that social and, you know, experience for my kids and keep us on a schedule and do all the things.
Yep.
But then you also want to, like, I also reversed it one time and created a carousel for Instagram that was like, what do you what do you not get with a birthday party? And I was focusing on the things that parents really hate to do when they throw their own birthday parties for kids, like the big cleanup. Like no one
Yeah.
wants to do cleanup, you know. So just think in different ways, like how, like what are the problems that you're solving? And I know it seems like it's easy when you're like, oh, they're just gonna have fun. It's great. Like there's more to it, and just knowing your customers and what you're doing for them, make it fun.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see, identifying trends. So this is something that, you know, if you're wanting to see a lot of results, whether it's like, oh man, my video went viral, or um, just getting more reach to potential new customers, this is where following trends is helpful. I don't recommend following trends all the time. So like, well, that's a hot topic too, but like on TikTok, it's a lot more important, but on like Meta, like Facebook and Instagram, it's still important, but I'll just give some examples. So on Instagram, you might be following certain things like a trend where it's like this one video of somebody warming up. There's one that recently that was kind of becoming popular. It's like I'm warming up, and it's to a specific song, and maybe they're warming up to go run, or maybe they're warming up to like get the high score on NBA hoops in the arcade or something. So if you follow or just Google like Instagram Reels trends, you'll find different websites that typically will have those recent trending videos on there, and you can click through on there. You can get the audio, you know, see the audio that they're using, and use that for your own reel and put a spin on it. A lot of times these things are funny or relatable or you know, entertaining or engaging, or all those things. That's what you're trying to go for, is something that's really shareable. So it's a lot of times it's a meme, something funny. Um, so yeah, go on the tabs that say trending, like trending music, trending videos, and see what other people are doing to come up with your own content.
Awesome.
Let's see. Okay, so best platforms for FECs. Okay, so Instagram and Facebook are kind of a given, because Facebook has been around for a while. Shoot, hold on. Um, and Facebook over time has, I'm just going to go for the bad first and then the good. So the bad is Facebook over time has really suppressed business pages. So you used to be able to post something and get like, you know, several hundred, or depending on how many followers you had, like thousands of, you know, views or lots more engagement. And it suppressed it because they supposedly wanted people to engage more with each other, like, and less about the businesses. But we could go down a whole rabbit hole about that. I think what they're really trying to do is push people to spend money to advertise on their platform. Um, and so one way that you can get more reach in a way that makes sense, without being too pushy, is Facebook groups. Facebook groups is where you'll find, like, you know, Indianapolis moms, or like things to do in Indianapolis with kids or something like that, for example. And that's where you might share some of your posts into that. And it's kind of like going back to the email marketing, like you're targeting people that already are interested in what you're providing. So you're probably going to get more engagement or potential business, like people clicking through. Um, you can interrupt me if you want. I'm just going to go down the rabbit hole. But Facebook groups, typically they don't want you to post something that's like an ad type of post. So what you could do is create one of those educational pieces, like 5 benefits to for your kids being active at trampoline parks if you're a trampoline park, and sharing something that's like that, like educational, will be more accepted. Um, but some groups will let you do it like once a week on a specific day. Um,
Yeah, I know this question isn't on here, but I know sometimes platforms favor content types. You know how Instagram really likes reels more so than just the static posts. What would you advise our audience do about that?
yeah, so this one is video. Video has taken over over the last more than 5 years. Video has taken over. I would recommend the 80/20 rule. Like 80% of your content should probably be videos. And I know that sounds like a lot. Um, and then 20% is, those promotional posts or just like static images or, things like that. Video is more effective. They're pushing that in the algorithms. But if you think about it from like a, customer perspective, like I prefer video. Like I prefer seeing something funny and I'll share that with my friends, or if I see a recipe video that looks good, I'll send it to my wife. I'll save it. Um,
Yeah, I
so
know people have also found a middle ground between adding an audio to an image. It's kind of like a video, but it's kind of not. So, but
that's
speaking of
true.
videos, how have you seen TikTok had success? Because I believe they're all video.
Yeah, so TikTok is all video. And they even pushed an algorithm update this past year where you can do more than just 60-second videos. It was like, I think like several minutes. But TikTok is considered the best algorithm. It reaches the people that whatever you're seeing, it's really, really good at putting similar things out there. Um, yeah, 10-minute videos, someone said. But here's the problem is that they potentially are going to be banned in like 6 or 7 days from now. I have a feeling it's going to come back though, but that's not up to me. So I'm not like if I were you, I wouldn't be worried about it. I would just keep posting there and repurpose the content that you do on TikTok, on Instagram and Facebook for Reels. But keep in mind that you don't want to have the TikTok watermark on there if you're going to reuse it for Facebook and Instagram, because they don't like that. They don't like it. So they'll try to like suppress it a little bit. But all in all, when it comes down to it, create good content, and a lot of the other stuff doesn't really matter as much. Like it does, but if you create good content, it will get through to the people that want to see it.
Yeah, huh, that's heartfelt. SEO and blogging.
Yeah, so SEO and blogging. I was gonna pull a stat on this, but I just didn't have time earlier. But businesses that blog see a lot higher traffic to their website than businesses that don't on their website. There's a couple different reasons for that, and one is the SEO point topic where search engine optimization. So if someone is searching for things to do in their area, like fun things to do in my like near me, is what somebody might type into Google or Bing, which not a lot of people use, or in Google Maps or Apple Maps. Um, if you are if you are creating content, whether even if it's not for social media, you can constantly be like posting new pictures to your Google business listing. It will push you a little bit more than other people if they're not. Um, and the more people that do look up your business, the better you're going to rank in Google. So it's important because especially with the local SEO, like you're gonna want to be ahead of everyone else when they search best laser tag arena near me. It's got to be you. Um, so when it comes to blogs, like I don't see a lot of people in this industry in at family entertainment centers doing blogs, but they should be because you can. There's so many easy things you can do for that. Like I just said, like best laser tag arena in Indianapolis because I live here now. And you could just type type up like why your laser tag arena is the best. And maybe it's because you chose a really relevant theme that's not found anywhere else. Maybe it's the price is a great deal. Maybe it's like um, a lot of people have fun, and you can put testimonials in there from people like from your Google reviews. You can put a video in there of how it looks and how the gameplay kind of looks too, so people can even see what to expect when they go to your laser tag arena. And when you couple video with text, like relevant keywords is what is listed here, then it's going to rank higher in Google. It's all about driving people to your website.
Awesome. And then, so we also have here to ensure that your Google business profile is up to date. This is really important. When people do the basic search on you and they just look up your FEC or event venue, you want them to find the right information and even find the true you. So this could look like making sure that, of course, your name is accurate, but also your hours, your contact info, or even your address.
And just really quick on that, like if you have specific hours for Christmas or like Easter, or if you're closed, like make sure you're updating that stuff because people will look at that and they'll think, oh, they're closed when they're really not.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so just make sure you're constantly updating this stuff.
Yep. And sometimes people will even call in and be like, "Are you open? Are you open?" And I can alleviate
That's
some of
wasting
all of
people's
that
time.
extra. Yeah.
Yeah,
When you just have it already online ready.
exactly. All right, blogging best practices. So yeah, we just talked about this a little bit, but it's kind of like all the things you see on TikTok and Instagram Reels, and you know, or just Googling those things. Like, what is a potential customer going to be searching to find you, and or why do you want to be known? You know, so the stress-free birthday party, laser tag arenas, or what, everything you need to know about hosting a corporate event. That's a big one because corporate events bring in a lot of money, and it's a great thing to promote. A lot of corporate companies are looking for different things to do that to get away from the norm of what they're always doing. Um, so
Mhm.
give them a reason. Give them 5 reasons to visit. Um, and then birthday parties, like everyone talks about birthday parties. That's like the bread and butter of this industry. So put a bunch of content out there that is about why they need to come to your FEC for birthday parties, and put the pricing on there, the packages and all that stuff. Like people are going to be searching for that, and you want to be first.
Yep. 100%.
This is a good one, tracking results. So kind of going back to the 80/20 rule. What is the 20%, like what is the top 20% of your content, whether it's on social media or your blogs on your website or your open rate on emails, like what are the top 20% and why are they performing like that? So, because then you want to keep hitting on those things and make that 80% of the things that you want to work on, and repeat. So the most views could be, a reel that performed really well on Instagram, and maybe how to left shares and saves and stuff like that. Like what went into that made it so special. You might not be able to tell just by looking at one, but if you look at like 10 reels, the top 10 for like the past month or year, you'll see the similarities, like oh, reels with people in them perform better. Like maybe someone talking to the camera, or like showing them how to play something, or videos of like a really cool birthday party setup where the customer got to experience this thing where it's like all the decorations were Toy Story themed or something. It was just decked out like that and had a really cool birthday cake and all that stuff. And the parent had a great experience, and you know put that review out there, and you can put that in like the video or something like that. What's the top performing thing? See the similarities, write those things down, and rinse, copy and paste. Like keep doing those things.
Yep. So now we'll talk about websites.
Okay, sorry. Websites are very important. I'm going to say this. Like I do a lot of content marketing and social media. That's my main thing, but websites are very important for the SEO part of it, search engine optimization. Um, and the other potential of things like TikTok being banned or Facebook suppressing posts or like anything that's you can't control those things in social media. Um, but you can control your website for the most part on how great it is with the information, how easy it is to digest, how easy it is to hit, book now for a birthday party. The easier you make it for people, like the more likely they're gonna spend money with you. And money ahead of time is always better than money that you're not sure if it's gonna come in, like if somebody's coming into your business. So um, make sure you have a good website and it's easy to use, it looks good, and have everything integrated and show off your attractions and things that you do well visually as well.
Awesome.
Track analytics and insights. Let's see. Yeah, page visits is a big one. This is kind of going back to the content, like what performs well and why you need a website. So like if you say you did like 12 blogs for a whole year and like one did really well, you want to know how many page visits you got and where it's coming from. It a lot of times Google Analytics will tell you, hey, this came from you shared it on social media. This is like 5% of the views, or from an email or something like that. You want to know what's working for you in every aspect if you can. Sometimes it's hard to focus on all these different things because your business is, if you're an FEC operator, you have so many things to focus on already. But if you have an idea of what's working based on page visits, how long people spent on your page, which I would almost argue that's more important because they're actually reading your stuff and not bouncing off. Bouncing is another term. Going on your website and then just like leaving immediately, which is considered a bounce. Um, there's a lot of things that go into it, but make sure you're looking at the analytics and knowing what's working and if you need to continue doing those things or stop doing those things. I don't know if you have any insight on that.
Sorry. Um, yeah, I definitely think paying attention to what's most successful on your website definitely always helps, and really going into the back end of the site, always watching, like you said, the time spent, the conversions, what people are really clicking on and what they want to see. It kind of goes back to that A/B testing we spoke about earlier. Those are all good analytics and insights to have because you want to push forward and really use what's most successful. You don't want to always have something in the forefront or a pop-up that people aren't necessarily interested in. So I always promote things that are popular and get the most attention just to keep that going and stay relevant with your customers.
And just a really quick thing, conversion rate, that is when someone comes to your website, that's a lead. But if they actually click on buy now and go through with paying, that's conversion.
Yep.
Yeah, this is another thing. Like keep it simple, make it easy. If it's hard for somebody to read, paragraphs of information on your website, maybe simplify it. You can ask ChatGPT, simplify this, novel that I wrote into something that makes sense and is easy to read. Sorry, I just saw a message. Keep it simple. Make sure you don't have like 10 or 12 tabs or whatever it is. Like if you can consolidate your tabs, like maybe you have a tab for just attractions, and because you have laser tag, you have bowling, you have arcade, and all those things, like try to keep it as simple as possible for them. There's different theories on that too, like if you should have book now button at the top or at the bottom. There's people that literally study the stuff and have stats that back it. Um, I would say cons consult somebody like Party Center Software to tell you the best direction to go on those things. And yeah, customers are more likely to commit when booking is convenient and intuitive. That is true. Like it, it just all goes back to, yeah, building trust and excitement. Trust goes back to consistent. Are you using your logo consistently the same way? Your colors, everything. If you go from a social media post that has like a rainbow of colors all over the place and like five different types of text, fonts and things like that, and you click through to a website that has completely different design aesthetic, like I don't know, it makes people second guess things for a second.
Yep. And then we even had someone in the chat say we can check what page they're bouncing on. So I do want to call out that comment. I appreciate that comment because that page may need to be updated, changed, or optimized.
Good point.
Awesome. And
Oh,
so,
sorry.
oh,
Can we go
sorry.
back really quick?
Yeah.
One more thing. I just saw, so highlight what makes your venue special using content testimonials or virtual tours. The virtual tours have been really popular ever since like 2020. But it's really cool to be able to see what you're gonna see what you're going to see in person, but ahead of time. Like you might notice little things like, wow, this laser tag arena is really high end. I can tell based off of this little virtual tour that I did, or this place is really clean, or maybe it's dirty. I don't know. Like maybe you can just, it's really cool to be able to see that. And then testimonials, really quick, like testimonials are really powerful for content marketing, whether it's a vendor in this industry or your FEC. And you need to think about how you can use a testimonial in like not just one way and not just two ways, like three, four, or five ways. Like when I get a testimonial, let's say it's a video, and I'll shoot. You can literally use your phone and ask a parent to talk about the experience that their kid had and that they had for their birthday party and how awesome it was. And if you can guide them, like, hey, can you mention like the exact things that they played or like those things, like if they can mention it in there, that's even better because then you can shoot some B-roll too. Like B-roll is like action shots that you can put over top of it. Take that testimonial video, post it as a reel, post it as a regular video on your website, extract the testimonial, like what they're saying, and use that in text so you can put it into a blog or make a social media graphic that is just like a really cool looking graphic and it has like the main part of the testimonial that's like, oh, the tag arena was something I've never seen before. It was like amazing. Use content like five ways when you could have used it in one. Just maximize that.
Yep. And then I also want to call on someone from my team she designs websites, just to kind of give some insight on the background, the back end of what she does when she's designing them and really looking into the websites. So, Araceli, would you be able to speak more on that?
Yeah, thanks, Nadia, for shouting me out. I think number one, Eric, I definitely agree. Websites are 100% important. I think that's like the one marketing aspect that all businesses, FECs should really focus on because like that's just the cornerstone of your business. That's where you're going to find everything. If someone lands on social media and they land on your website and it's hard to find something, people's attention spans nowadays aren't very long. So you basically just want to, show them right in their face where they need to go. Like you said, you're a parent, you want it right in your face. So I definitely think those call to actions, especially, book now buttons on whether it's mobile or desktop are very important. Any other sort of call to actions that are important too, as purchasing a gift card, booking a party. I think those are super important as well. I can talk about this all day because I know this is my area of expertise, but another pointer is to have high quality images. I know we have teams working in our facilities, or even I know you guys have cameras too. Just taking a quick snapshot, making sure you clean the back side of your camera, and I feel like you're good to go. So those are some tips. Nadia, let me know if you want me to shout out some more tips for you.
Yeah, sure the audience would love to know.
So really quick, you know, like we just talked about, if you are on social media and you click through, or you're on Google and you're searching for like a fun center, you know, and the first result is something that is not a website. Like I recently ordered Indian food, um, and when I found the results on Google, it took me to like a Yelp page or like a DoorDash page. There was no website. I don't. It just made me second guess things for a second. But I like, you know, it worked out fine. But it just makes me the trust factor is a little bit less
Yeah,
if you
I
don't
I
have.
100% agree. Because again, like you don't want to have to go digging for the website. That's where, optimizing your Google listing page comes into play. I think if you have a Google listing, make sure that's updated with your hours, website, all that information that anyone may need to know to, visit you or visit you online. So make sure that's updated as well.
We got a question
Yeah.
that I think is a good one. Does everything need a photo slash video release? And I'm guessing, is that like a permission release or
Yeah,
is
that
that
should I can answer that. I think that should honestly be in your waiver. But I think it just really depends on the facility in general, whether you want to ask them, just to ask them. You can simply ask them and say like, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" And if not, you know, respect their wishes. But also if you have a day where you want to get content, I know my team and I have discussed like, oh, have like a social media day. And then when those customers come in, just be like, hey, we're having a social media, we're gonna take photos for our website, blah, blah, blah. Would you be okay with that? And if they are super against it and they say no, okay, cool, thank you. And you put a wristband on their hand to make sure, like, oh, we're not taking pictures of those people. So that's something to go around it to do a little workaround. Team, do you guys have any insight on that as well? I know Eileen has a lot of insight on that with photo permissions.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't have a waiver, you can do exactly what Araceli said, and you can wristband the people. Plus, you could do like when you do if you're going to do a grand opening, you could do a soft opening where everyone knows you're taking footage. You know what I'm saying? So ahead of time that everybody in there is going to be, they're going to have their best attire on, and they're gonna, it's going to be staged, but they're still going to have fun. So then you can use all that without any worry whatsoever. So that soft opening, or just have a party. I mean, you could just have a party that promotes all your corporate rooms and have it all set up, you know what I'm saying? And then just take those photos ahead of time. So you have all that footage that you can use at any time for sure.
one last thing too is you can put up signage that says, you know, hey, filming in progress or something like that, just as an additional thing. But that alone might not be enough. So I would just make sure maybe you look up the laws or just ask the people in person too. I always just ask them ahead of time.
Yep. And so thank you for that question to the person who put it in our chat. And I know you say you don't have a waiver, but PCS also helps with those type of things. So we'll have a slide later on about how to contact us and just reach out with any other questions or anything else you need regarding waivers or any other information that we've provided. So I'd actually like to pose just a couple of poll questions. We've given so much information today. I kind of want to hear back from the audience. So I want to launch this poll first. I hope everyone can see it. How do you currently market your FEC? From everything that we've talked today, just what do you all do? Just we would love to know. Okay, social media, a lot of it's social media. And we do have some paid online advertising services, which is interesting. Oh, there's a lot of offline marketing. Okay. Ah, the PCS way. Oh, thank you. We love that. Okay, awesome. And I'll end the poll here, share these results. So this is where we're at with the results. And one thing that's striking is that there's no blogs. Guys, but it's okay.
Come
Hopefully
on.
after this, I know it's okay. After this webinar, I think we've tried to discuss the importance of blogs and what they can do for your business. So, hey, maybe if we have a check-in later on in the year about what we're doing for marketing, maybe people will be using blogs. So that's very interesting results. Hmm. And then since every person that replied, we had 100% on social media, I kind of want to see what social media trends do you all do? Or how much of it do you do, should I say? Some people don't do it at all, which is fine. But are we doing the dances and the audios, or are we keeping it chill? Not doing too much. Okay. Oh, okay. The results are turning now. At first, we were all not doing too much. We were keeping it where it needed to be. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll end the poll there. So it seems like most people, we do just enough. We do just enough, and then some people are getting into it with the dances. And if you do dances and voiceovers, PCS would love to see what you're doing because we always love social media here. All right, I just wanted to engage the audience with those polls. And next, we just discussed a lot today. So how can Party Center software help with marketing? We've told you all so much, and we kind of want to go over quickly just what we do to support you all in marketing. So we provide PCS brand kits, we do digital advertising, we have our social boost program, which is social media assistance. We have SEO and blogging, so you can optimize everything, and then we do design websites. And if anyone on the team wants to pop in and talk about more of these services, I don't know if anyone wants to pop in.
I can pop in, Nadia. I gotcha. So yeah, PCS, we do PCS brand kits. So if you do not have a logo, you do not have branding, you're kind of stuck where to go. Let PCS help you with that. We can help you create an identity for your business that's super exciting and fits with, your mission and what you're trying to do. We also have PCS digital advertising. So with digital ads comes heavy responsibility, right? And that can be very difficult to navigate. It is a lot to try to learn yourself. So if you need to outsource, we're a great tool for digital ads and we'd love to help you with that. Our social boost, you can pair actually with the digital advertising. So with social boost, it is more organic social media to create a consistent social media presence. So we'll help you with those images, those graphics. You send us your great photos of your facility and we'll put some really great stuff together to post on social for organic growth. And then we've got the SEO optimization. So if you have a website with us or you don't have a website with us, we'd love to talk to you about how to improve your current website. Or if you need a website, we start from the ground up. We have a great SEO checklist that we do. And then we do offer ongoing SEO optimization as well if you do tap into that. And then lastly, those beautiful websites. I know that you guys, if you don't have a website already, it is super important, as Nadia and Erik has stressed that. So we'd love to help you with either a current site if you want to, do something new for 2025 and get a new website out there. We'd love to help. Or if you want, just to us to do a consultation with you, look over your current website. We can kind of give you tips and tricks to be successful with that as well.
Yep, thank you, Danielle. I just wanted y'all to hear from someone on the team. And I think that one really unique thing that kind of makes this stand out is that you can mix and match these services. So, like Danielle said, maybe you're really strong with social media, but your website, maybe you feel like it's not up to par. Reach out to us. We'll have a consultation. We can look into that. And then maybe you have a website, but you feel like it needs more clicks, it needs to be viewed more. You're not really sure if your website is useful, then you can tap into our SEO and blogging services. And it seems like Eileen, did you
Yeah,
unmute?
I did. Well, I was going to say, because when you did the poll, nobody said that they were blogging. So, I mean, we definitely can help you with blogging. We can do like a whole quarter of different blogs that we're going to do with some hashtags and make that happen for you so that we can do the 80-20 rule, where you're talking about some of your, where it automatically will be fun and then you can talk about what you've got going on and it just we've got blogs that we did like last year that people are still reading. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I think it's definitely something that is overlooked because I think most people don't think, gosh, I'm not a good writer. I don't have the time, but we can do that for you definitely and make it happen.
Thank you, Eileen. I appreciate that. So, yep, we have all these great services for your FEC or event venue. Please reach out to us. And with that, if we have any questions about what we do at PCS or any of the marketing tips and tricks and strategies that we've discussed today, you can pop them in the chat or we can read some of them off. Or you can just contact us privately. That's fine too. And I know we got one question earlier about, let's see, Erik, someone said, how do you save the TikTok without the watermark? How we said they don't play well with Instagram and the watermark.
Yeah, so if like if you're creating a video, um I guess if you're creating it in TikTok, that's an issue, because it will download with the watermark. But yeah, I usually create stuff outside of the platforms, and that's why it's easy for me. Let's maybe that's something we should follow up about.
Okay. I know a few strategies that I've seen where even people did create it in TikTok when they did download it and save it, they would kind of crop out the end or they would let the end of the video just go so that when you do crop, the content has already ended and the part that is included in the watermark, it would be cropped out. Those are just a few strategies that I've seen people to do, and that might be
You could
helpful as
also,
well.
yeah, you could also add like they call it like a sticker or whatever,
Yeah.
in, Facebook or Instagram Reels, so it covers it up. But yeah, um, there's a couple different ideas.
Yep. All right. And with that, you can contact us at PCS. You all will get a copy of this deck, so don't fret about screenshotting or taking a picture now. And this is our sales and support team. You can also request a demo with us to discuss any of the services we've talked about today or anything else that we could use to help or support your business, because our mission is to provide helpful and timely resources to FECs and event venues everywhere. We really strive to help our community as we're more than just software, we are business builders. So, as you know, we already have a robust resource center on our website. And whether it's weekly, monthly, we do, like we said, timely resources. So we try to release content as frequent as possible, whether it's ebooks, blogs, webinars, and our podcast series will be starting up soon. So be on the lookout for that. But we're trying to release all of this also. Tune in with us and reach out to us. And then in addition to that, we also have our PCS Academy, which consists of two portals, which one is the business growth portal, and you do not have to be a PCS customer to benefit from the PCS Academy. This has video series that highlights different business growth concepts. So be sure to use this link and check it out. And with that, I like to thank Erik for joining today and giving everyone information. I'd also like to thank all of our audience and our listeners for learning how to master your 2025 marketing strategy. And I hope you all now have a winning plan for your FEC as we start the new year. So happy new year to you all. Thank you. And Erik, any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Funworks Media, or go to my website, funworksmedia.com. And I just really appreciate you guys bringing me on here again.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day and have a good year.
Thank you.